So who's going to tell the Republican white men that being able to pop up in comment sections and be legitimately violent without ever being checked for doing so is actually a form of immense privilege that you are receiving because you're a white man in America?
First of all, this girl looks like she hates her dad. Second of all, this is just complete horse crap. I mean, has she even seen what things are like on Black Twitter? But really, people of all races, creeds, and ethnicities get away with leaving negative comments because guess what? One, this is the internet and you can be anonymous. And two, everyone engages in this behavior and everyone has some kind of hate lobbed against them on the internet. That's the nature of the beast. Your experience is not unique, and straight white men don't have any kind of special privilege in this regard. What's up, guys? This is Red Channels back at you with another video. Please give this video a like, share it, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment. If you want to support me monetarily, consider going down into the description section and subbing to me on Patreon. And without further ado, let's dive right in.
This is just your daily reminder that the government could just declare that you're not a citizen. That brown people, not citizens. LGBTQIA people, not citizens. Anyone that opposes the government, no longer a citizen. They did it with Anne Frank. Anne Frank was not a German citizen because she was Jewish. And therefore, people who turned her in were following the law of reporting non-citizens to the government. And in Indiana, the governor just ordered all police to cooperate fully with ICE. So, la migra. Remember those words.
We are beaten down, we are losing, and we're exhausted. And most of us in the LGBTQ community saw this coming. We've tried warning people. We've tried saying over and over again, like, we need adequate change. We've said it and we've said it and we've said it and we've said it over and over until we're blue in the face. And then this happens. We need workers' rights. We need access to affordable health care. We need access, even in some states, to clean water. We have people of color who are disproportionately policed. We have a for-profit prison system. We let indigenous people just go completely missing. I can't go outside my house once it's dark on my own. The fact that I see, like, people in other countries, like, being able to just get up and walk to the store on their own while it's dark out is a complete foreign concept to me.
I'm letting go of how I think this is going to play out. All I know is that Mango Mussolini will not make it to the variety of house that happens to be white. So, yeah, I'm just going to chill out and wait and see what happens.
He's not my president. He'll never be my president. He's just a big, flabby, diaper-wearing man-child. He is a master beta, and he kisses the ass of anybody who has more money and power than he does, which is why he's Putin's puppet and Elon's big. His policies are going to bankrupt our country the same way that he bankrupted so many of his scam businesses. And he hasn't appointed a single black person to his administration because he's a racist, just like the Proud Boys and the Triple K who support him too. He's also a homophobe, like so many of these Christian nationalists out here who wouldn't recognize brown Jesus if he crossed the border and washed their damn feet. He has a tiny pecker, a tiny brain, and a giant ego, and he's riddled with dementia. I don't even think he's going to be here in 4 years. I think McDonald's and KFC are going to take his ass out. He can't keep a business. He can't keep a wife. He can't even keep his ass clean. And yet you think he's going to be the president. The president of what? He's not running the show. Elon is. And Elon looks like he just fell off the back of a little yellow bus. There's not a damn thing you can say to make me like Donald Trump or consider him the president of anything. He's not qualified to work at McDonald's with his rap sheet. So why don't you go find his little mushroom, if you can, and sit and spin on that for a while.
These cliches are so tired and played out. I wonder if they'll ever say anything new or interesting. even as an insult. I wonder if they're going to come up with anything new, because it just feels like we've been hearing this nonstop for forever now.
And I'm barely even speaking to like US citizens anymore. I'm more speaking to like the United Nations. Donald Trump just said that he is building a 30,000 bed migrant detention center at Guantanamo Bay, where they keep enemies of the state. United Nations. I'm being serious because I cannot rely on American politicians at all anymore. At least I don't think so. If they start actually trying to make like what sounds to me like, I can't even say it because it will get, this video will go nowhere. If they start making like World War II-esque camps, are you guys going to come in and help? Like, who's going to make sure that this is not a new World War II?
She's like begging the UN to intervene. This is so hilarious. Imagine if that was how, like, they institute globalist world government. You just have enough of these crazy rad libs get together and demand that the UN intervene in American politics, and then that's how the world government begins. That's its inception. I mean, the UN can't do anything. They're not gonna do anything. But this is so funny. And no, this is not going to be a World War II camp. These people are criminals who are running around our country, and they need to go.
Fascist countries ban apps. Fascist countries ban websites. Fascist countries ban apps and websites under the guise of threats to national security, when every other country knows it's about suppressing the free speech of its citizens. If the government believes that a single app could, quote from the hearing on the 10th, skew the perspective of American citizens to be anti-American, maybe the real problem is that American citizens are already in such a state of political unrest and unhappiness that our government is scared a single foreign influence could tip the scale and have it all be over. Don't you think that by taking away the, and I quote, key communications channel of Americans, it's gonna make those 170 million Americans a little more anti-American? Maybe Congress knows and understands that. Maybe the government knows that the backlash it will receive from banning TikTok does not outweigh the threats that come with its existence. Not in a matter of national security, but in a matter of being the most popular news and media outlet that the government cannot control, like American-owned broadcasting networks and publications. Maybe, if this was actually a national security concern, the government would be banning all Chinese-developed apps, like Shein and Temu, that collect the exact same amount of data as TikTok. Because maybe it knows TikTok is something special. You can't politically organize on Temu. If TikTok goes dark, the government deliberately and knowingly took away your free speech. Do not accept national security for an answer, ever.
Remember when I told everybody default divorce was on the way, and all these wonderful things that Trump was going to do? 3 words. I told you! Project 2025 is acknowledged by Trump and his government, and he put the writers of it in his government. Oh, and then we've got Mr. Elon. Yeah, the day after he did that shit, Mother went and spoke with a bunch of neo-Nazis in Germany, and about how, oh, we should just put it all in the past, and it's okay to be a Nazi now. Okay. have a great time. I'm going to be sitting here wondering how people I know are going to stay in their housing.
So let me get this right. Just freeze all federal funding. Okay. For what benefit of yours? What, to keep us stupid? So everyone can't go to college, or whoever's in college can't finish? Like my niece. Food stamps, snaps. Okay, I get it. Some people abuse the system. I get it. But a lot of these families in this United States of America has kids. So if they're expected to go to work, if they're getting the benefits for those kids, how are those kids going to go to work? They're going to go to school hungry because there's no free breakfast or lunch anymore, right? Because that's part of the freezing. And now you're going to target Meals on Wheels for the senior citizens that rely on it? What's the purpose? What, power? Keep us dumb? Yeah, we're far from dumb. And trust me, we're going to start standing up. We're going to need to start standing up for our rights, for our neighbors who aren't MAGA. Because this is ridiculous. No kid should go hungry in this country. No senior citizen should go hungry in this country. No person should go hungry in this country.
There is no reasonable pathway into the U.S. It's been decades and decades of amnesty programs not existing. These people, they don't come in legally because there are no programs for them to come in legally. Honestly, seriously, a more creative response would have been just fine. And let me tell you something else. If they did come in legally, I'm calling BS on all of you out there who say, oh, it wouldn't be a problem. It would be a problem. You want to know why? Because I really feel that the situation here is more about money, socioeconomic status, the poor versus the rich. And you know what? You people, the ones answering, come in the legal way, you better check your balances. You better check how much you have in the bank, because this is getting ugly and it isn't about race anymore. It's about the rich versus the poor. And you know what else? All the people coming in, all the people that you say that they're all criminals and they're all rapists, they're not. They're not. They are not. Are there some? I'm sure there is, because you know what? Nothing is 100 to 0, and we know that. But give me a break. And the other answer, oh, they're taking our jobs. Really? Is that why our food is now in crisis? Is that why farmers and ranchers and the agriculture world begging our elect president to settle themselves down a little bit because we're not going to have food? What are you going to do? Keep fearing what would happen if we let more people that don't look like you in? Jesus Christ. Embrace yourselves. Embrace yourselves. Get ready. Get ready. Because this is not going anywhere good.
It's always astounding to see the incredible level of entitlement some people have, even some immigrants have. I didn't really understand this until fairly recently, when I had this conversation with this guy who is like, this was a while ago, this was a couple of months ago, like a second generation immigrant from Mali. And he felt like he was just entitled to live here. And I was telling him, like, hey, I mean, he came here legally. Yeah, that is an option for some people. And like that lady was saying, yes, there are programs through which people from other countries do immigrate here legally. But he was like, oh, yeah, I would have voted for Harris because I feel like that would be in my best economic interests. So I was like, you're going to do that at the expense of tens of millions of people who live in this country, who have lineages in this country for far longer than you've ever been here, who it will screw them over. And he's like, yeah, sure. That's their problem if they can't adapt. He literally said, sounds like a skill issue. And I was like, dude, you are a parasite. You are not American, and you should not be in this country if this is your attitude.
Hey, quick question. Are we just supposed to keep living like everything is normal? Do we still like go to work, pay our bills, and just act as if everything in the world, everything that's going on is just completely normal. Because I'm really struggling with that concept. How am I supposed to just live my everyday life? And that's the thing about being a parent, is that you have no choice. You have to just get up, do the things because you have somebody else relying on you. But I am really struggling with the fact that I have to wake up every day knowing everything that I know. And now I understand the sentiment of ignorance is bliss, because I wish I was, in a sense, but also I'm glad that I know what's going on in the world. I'm glad that I'm not ignorant. But oh, how are we just supposed to live every day like normal? Wake up, get ready, go to work, take your kids to school, and just be okay? Because I'm not okay.
Man, that whole rant was so vague. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like, share it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support me monetarily, consider going down into the description section and subbing to me on Patreon. And Red Channels will, of course, catch you in the next one. And of course, shout out to my patrons, Tara, William, and General Jack Ripper.